Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Getting back into the game. Now, I know I usually discuss stuff with men regarding that thing of ours called game, but in this thing, it's like we're talking about the dating game for women. And this topic was requested by one of my subscribers. And she, I didn't want to give her a name, but she was just, somebody who had been married a while. Somebody had been married a while and now is back out on the market. And I'm going to tell you what. Honestly, it's tough. I'm just keep it 100 with you, especially for women who were never really like that woman, like on what some dudes call the cock carousel. Like, I know some dudes can't believe it, but because they feel like every woman was doing that. It was like, no, you get some women who might have married early or something, or their number of relationships are limited, might have been in long-term relationships and stuff. And, to get out of it. But they either don't have that much dating experience, or because they've been in a long-term relationship for so long, the dating scene has totally changed. I remember something I seen in one of my mentors' books, Master Yao's book. And he was talking about a woman who got back out on the dating market, and they were asking her, how is it? And she was like, she keep running into all these ghouls and fiends and everything. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't pretend like it's otherwise. Because it's gotten to the point, the dating landscape is crazy. And I'm just be real. Guys can get away. I mean, seriously. And guys can get away with it. And look, I'm going to just be straight up with you. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm one of those guys who can do this. I can get away with saying, no, I don't really feel like dating. You either come over or you don't. Seriously. I'm not really big on it. But like, I can't remember the last time I dated. And I'm keeping it 100 with you. I'm keeping it 100. I don't feel like lying to you, be on some bullshit. Right? And it's tough. And I'm thinking I'm self-admitted. I'm pretty decent with women as far as how to treat them and stuff. So if a dude like me is thinking in those terms, what's the dudes who don't have good intentions, just want to get sex? What they thinking? Like, they don't have good intentions. Like, I at least have a good intention with the woman. I want her to feel good when she's in my presence. But if I'm not big on dating, right? And just to be clear, if y'all notice on any of my sites, I don't talk about like what to do on actual dates for a reason. For a reason. Be honest with y'all, a lot of women don't be really interested in dating themselves. Or dating me. Right? They just want to get to it. I don't know. Must be the gray sweatpants. Anyway, right? You got some women out here. Women, a lot of y'all ladies, y'all might be the type. It's like, you know what? I was courted. I was doing this. I ain't like used to going to parties or going to clubs and stuff. Oh man, it is tough. And then definitely guys talk about the issues with online dating, which I don't personally want to mess with. Because honestly, with that online dating, I never recommend it to anybody. Like I tell people, if they want to know how to navigate long-term dating, online dating, go find somebody else to talk to. They could help you better, all right? But it's just tough. I mean, it's really the sign of the times. It's a combination of women wanting to be independent, some dudes actually trying to be players, and a lot of people aren't like at that. Okay, let me get to know this woman or something like that. Right? Or just going on a date just, for entertainment, just to have fun, just to spend some time with some person, if sex happens or don't. That's one of the things that used to be. Dating used to always lead to sex or dating just to have sex. It was just a date, y'all, hang out. If there's a click, there's a click. If it isn't, it isn't, right? But it's definitely like not like that now. It's just it's a hookup culture, even with older people. I remember a relationship counselor told me, he said he's counseling people in their 50s and 60s more. And and it's also not an accident that a lot of the STIs and all of that stuff is really popping up around older people. They ain't really dating either. Everybody's just getting down. And you know what? And that's something I can't have an answer for. I can't. I could suggest some things, but I'll be a hypocrite to suggest some things I don't do personally. Like I said, I'm gonna be real with y'all on here. So it's just like, man, this is kind of messed up, and it's different. And I actually feel bad for women and secondarily some men too, who always been into the relationship. Everybody ain't trying to be player or jump around. You got a lot of people who just want some stable stuff. But the atmosphere now is just not conducive to it. It really isn't. It really isn't. But the question is getting back into it. Despite everything I said, there's still people holding out hope. But it's going to be tougher to find nowadays. Right? For any ladies who coming out of a long-term thing, it's going to be tougher. Because I'm going to tell you what. First of all, guys have gotten pickier. Whether it's good or bad, I ain't going to say it's evil. It just happened. You get a lot of guys, they don't want to deal, if they don't have kids themselves, they don't want to deal with a woman with kids, right? It's just a simple thing. They don't want to deal with a woman with kids. A lot of guys are going to be picky about how the woman looks physically. So if you in your 40s getting out of a relationship, unless you already have like a real tight body, I would strongly suggest like maybe a weight loss program. If you're overweight or hitting the gym, something, just get your like aerobics, something, doing something active. Because a lot of the guys, even the ones who want to be stable, they still looking for that tight body on a woman. Because we quick to say, oh yeah, she hit the wall. So that makes it hard. And then some of the guys who might just accept, maybe not as stringent with their standards. A lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of women don't want to deal with them. Because this is something I've seen with a lot of women getting back into the game after being in long-term relationships. A lot of times they still have a selection criteria. And one of the things many women might have to do is really examine it and say, okay, when I was young and, I married that like fine dude and stuff, but that didn't work out. You might have to give that dude who might not be 6 feet and, might have like a modest job. You might have to give him some, time of day. You might have to look at that. Because you can't go in the same way you did when you were young. You got to adjust some things. And I mean that's just how it is. And even then, with some of the guys who might not have been the type you would deal with back in the day, some of them might be picky. Because a lot of those guys, I mean, their physical thing might or might not have changed, but a lot of times their financial situations change. And men as men in general, when men get more money, they get pickier. That's seriously, they get pickier. Only exception is if they just see you as a side piece. They might not be as picky if you're a side piece, and they don't take you out with them enough. But other than that, they get pickier with age. Pickier with money and age. All right, so it's tough. But I would just say this ultimately for any woman getting back into the game, work on yourself. Work on the stuff that you really wanted to do, the stuff that you might not have been able to do when you were married or in that long-term relationship. I know you might have some kids or something to deal with, but you still deal with them. But go back to that dream. Go back to that dream you had. If it's, you had a dream, you had a book you had to write, or someplace you want to travel, start doing it. Just live life. And ultimately, if there's a guy for you, you'll probably meet him in the rhythm of your life. So anyway, right? That's it for now. I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.